Hey, what's going on guys, it's Singlish P3D back here with another video. So today is going to be the 100 sub special video, and as you can see on the screen, the vote has is done basically, and the prepared add-ons plus settings has won by 1 vote, although a lot of people, I was surprised, a lot of people in the Flight Simmer Discord and my Discord voted for the Liverpool comeback video. If you guys didn't know, Liverpool was down 3-0 in the first half, and they came back 4-0 in the second leg. And then the first leg they were actually down 3-0. So they came back against Barcelona, which inspires me, and it's probably would inspire everyone to never give up and to try. So yeah, not sure why I have this ad here, but anyway, yep. So I will probably do this maybe, well, my chair, but yep, this is one, so I'm gonna do this right now. Anyway, if you guys are wondering what the wallpaper is, this is the wallpaper. And yeah, so today is gonna be the settings. So my main settings, you can just go to your options. Before we start on the settings, I would like to show you my computer. Sorry, this one. Yeah, this link. This is my computer benchmark. So the specs I'm using is a Intel Core i7 8700, and it's not the K version because I didn't want to buy another motherboard, which is the Z board, just for the overclock, and I don't plan on overclocking ever in my life. So yeah, buying the K is not very useful if I'm not going to overclock. If you're wondering why this PC status is red, it's because I was doing a flight and doing benchmark at the same time, which was a very stupid thing to do. Yeah, background CPU was 100%. So everything is good. I'm using the GTX 1070 Ti, which cost me a bomb. And then the hard drives, I'm using a SSD and then a 1TB HDD, and I'm getting a second hard drive soon, or third hard drive you can say. And then I'm using the Ripjaws DDR4 2666 MHz and 16GB of RAM. Yep, which is pretty decent. And my motherboard is the B360M Mortar Titanium. I might upgrade next time, but it's very unlikely, because this will probably last me another 5 to 6 years. It's actually very good already. And yeah, so just close that. We're moving on to my settings. So the first one is the general and the application. So in the general, I have prompt on exit. So when you close prepared, it doesn't instantly close. You actually have to select whether you actually want to close it or it was just an accident. And then the scenario startup screen, which is this one, if you unclick that, it will just go automatically to this airport with this aircraft and this timing. So you obviously want to edit it. Avatar mode is the pilot in your cockpit. And then scenario error reporting, longitude and latitude, these are all standard. Everything is standard. I did not change anything. Maybe pause and task switch is something I disabled. Next we go on to information. Vehicle labels, I don't enable it, it's unrealistic. Information text, basically the one at the bottom left, I believe. It says your parking brake, your slew, overspeed, stall, brakes, etc., etc. The text cycling, this is used in the top where you can sometimes see that active sky is updating, and then they will let you know the weather information, or VATSIM as well. If a controller texts you, you can see on the top of your sim. Next, we go into air traffic control. I don't use this at all. I use VATSIM. So yeah. Scenario compass pointer. I don't have it. Miscellaneous text cockpit tooltips. This is the one where, for example, you can see the what button is for what purpose, like auto throttle or APU, something like that. And message text and scenario captions is something like this at the top of your sim. Actually running out of breath. Moving on to sound, I have this to my voice meter, which is something I use for my recording. You guys will normally have it to your headphones or your speakers. And volume levels, I have these on the standard one, which is 50. Traffic, I have it at for ships and ferries, I have it at 30%, and leisure boats at 5%. The rest is 0. Only reason is because I have ultimate traffic live, so I don't need the aviation traffic. And road vehicles, they are normally depicted in the add-ons that I have. Realism, I ignore crashes and damage. So yeah, I ignore the crashes and damage because in case I crash or something, I don't want the flight to just, you know, end like that. Normally everyone puts it on ignore unless you actually want to crash by accident or something. Engines, yeah, this is all unrealistic if you turn this on. I don't have this engine stress, it's not really needed. For special effects, visualize G effects and momentum effects, you normally won't encounter this unless you're flying an F-16 and you do like 6G turn or 5G turn, then you'll experience it. Auto rudder, I don't use that. Attachments, yeah, this is all by default. Instrument and lights, yeah, I control the lights, and this displays your indicator airspeed. So next we go on to the most important part, which is the graphics. Display, like you can see this, will go from left to right. This is the profile. I don't have any other profiles, I'm too lazy to create them. Image and texture quality, FXAA, I have it on off. There's not much difference if you turn it on unless you want some lag. For AA, I have it at 8 times MSAA. It's pretty good already. The anti-alias quality. If you go it to max, you probably need a RTX 2080 to do that. Texture filtering, I have mine 8 times, although if you go to 16 times, there's not much performance difference. And for texture resolution, I have it on ultra. This full screen settings will be default. Yeah, it's just default. You just have your display, your resolution, and your autofill main view. I don't have VSync turned on for the frame rate controls, and triple buffering can only be turned on if you have VSync on, which I don't. And target frame rate is unlimited. If you encounter any flickering in your simulator, you might want to set this to maybe 60 or 120. And for the view and panel settings, I have the mid-map Visi panels, and the 2D panel transparency. For example, if you press Shift 3 on your PMDG aircraft, it comes up with the FMC, and that would be 50% transparent. Yeah, I do this sometimes because I want to record some cinematic views and stuff, and I can easily edit that out if I put the transparency at 50. For the world options, for the terrain, I have level of detail radius as ultra. Tessellation factor is at high. Mesh resolution is at 5 meters and texture resolution is at 60 cm. I did not enable high resolution terrain textures, and I'll explain to you why. Because of scenery objects, I have this on extremely dense, so if I turn this on, it might lag. So yeah, it's all about trial and error. Everyone has their own personal settings. Maybe if you think that your computer can handle it, then you can set it to a higher setting. Special effects, I have it on max. Water detail is low. You don't really need this to be high because your sim water, even if you set it to the lowest, it doesn't really change the way it looks. For reflections, I only have clouds and user vehicle, that's all. I don't have it on sim objects unless I want my aircraft to lag. The rest I don't need it as well. Lighting is right here. I don't have to go into much detail for this one. It's all about personal preference. Just leave it for like another 5 seconds. Weather, it's just like so. Draw distance 90. You need to have it on maximum for your coverage density, or else active sky effects won't work as well as it should. And then turbulence and thermal effects, and all these are all good stuff for your sim, like detailed precipitation, windshield effects, and volumetric fog. You don't need the thermal visualization, yes, and you don't really need to know this. If you're wondering why I have the Xbox 360 controller, it's because I use it for FIFA and I did not unplug it, so it appears here. And there's not really anything else. These are all the standard stuff. Moving on to the scenery that I currently have in my library. I don't really have a lot installed, because if you have a lot installed, you actually have to go through the pain of disabling it. And yeah, I just only install scenery I need. If I don't need it, then I'll just uninstall it. Although most of my FS Dream Team sceneries are all inside, because you have only a limited number of activations every 90 days. So if you install like 5 times, that's your maximum. And I just keep it here. So starting from the top, I have the NY Airports V2. This is by the Dreswiki Designs. And then next we have Flightbeam KSFO. Imagine Sim Singapore V2. This is the one with the most, because you have Earth data, scenery, and all those stuff. Then I got all the Aerosoft Frankfurt, Gibraltar. I think I have Barcelona somewhere below. And these are all the FTX for Australia. I believe I have South Island here. This is England, I believe. EU, yeah. San Diego, Melbourne, and the base package. I also have Hong Kong. Flight Temple, I have Dubai. I basically have all the Flight Temple sceneries, I believe. Corfu, Athens, Dubai, Copenhagen, Sydney, Amsterdam. Yeah, those are really good sceneries. And then I have the ones from Taxi to Gate, which is the Istanbul Ataturk. I'm probably gonna disable it now because I'm not gonna fly there anymore. The airport is closed. And I have PG, which is Paris Charles de Gaulle, and Doha Airport. And I also have one which is sponsored by one of my subscriber, which is the Lanzarote. And yeah, pretty cool. I also have the Hong Kong scenery which I have recently used. Yeah, in one of my videos, the Air China video. And yeah, it was pretty good. And that was my phone. So yeah, this is the end of the 100 sub special video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm actually not feeling the greatest right now, especially if you can hear it from my voice, because I have kind of a runny nose. But yeah, hope you all have enjoyed this settings and configuration and add-ons video. If you did, please remember to leave a like and to subscribe. And road to 200, guys. Once we reach 200 subs, I might start doing live stream with my face cam. So yeah, hope you guys will look forward to that. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.